Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. And I had a couple things I wanted to bring to y'all today, but before I get into that, I want to let y'all know that I will be today and tomorrow on a live broadcast on the American Patriot News channel. I'm sure you know those guys, Matt and Romeo and Lisa and the crew. They're having a Trump rally today, probably about 3 o'clock Central Time, I believe is what it is. I'll be over there here directly. And also, tomorrow, we will be doing the inauguration live on Matt's channel, probably for several hours. And I'll be popping in over there as well. So come join us. American Patriot News, if you don't already know. Alright, this first video clip is 25 ways that our country is being destroyed from the inside out. And we have a solution for that, which is this right here, otherwise known as the Dream Team. These people are right here going to take care of business, including Trump. The entire cabinet poses for a picture together right outside the Capitol. Check it out, folks. I see Robert F. Kennedy, Hegseth, Cash Patel in the back. I see the team. There we go. Doug Burgum in the front. It's going to be great, folks. I can't wait. But before we get into the Dream Team, let's go ahead and watch this 25 things that Trump's going to have to fix when he steps through the door. Trump's not going to have an easy job fixing our country, but he does have the best team available. He does have the best resources available, our government's pocketbook. And hopefully Elon Musk will come in and be able to claw some of that money back that Biden overspent and make our country run more efficiently for less money, including with this external revenue service that Trump is kicking into place, which is one of the many things that I would say are part of my Trump effect video or clip that I'll be bringing to y'all here directly. So stick around, folks. Yes, folks, this is going to be a great year, but it will not be without its trials and tribulations. Hopefully we won't have any more attacks on the president, but I think everybody needs to be super cautious with security at this point. And I have heard that they are, because for security reasons, they have now moved all of the proceedings of the inauguration indoors due to the possibility of lone actor drone attacks is what they're saying at this point. But I think everything's going to be all right. There's 5,000 troops, helicopters, Secret Service, the Beast, an entire coordinated team to a counterinsurgents team. If anything does go awry, we're definitely going to have that place locked down all around Washington. But at any rate, having the outdoor parade and the outdoor inauguration in the cold weather, with the possibility that they can't stop the drones from getting in, it just doesn't sound like a good plan at this point. So let's go ahead and get into this, though. We got, like I said, 25 quick run-through things that Trump's going to have to fix with that Dream Team I just showed you. All right, here we go.
A warning to America. 25 ways the U.S. is being destroyed in under 2 minutes. 1. Open borders and illegal immigration. 2. Rampant crime and unsafe cities. 3. Mass addiction and fentanyl. 4. Election insecurity and interference. 5. The educational indoctrination of children. 6. The asymmetrical weaponization of justice. 7. The destruction of private property rights. 8. Inflation and debt. 9. The global depopulation agenda. 10. Record low fertility and plummeting birth rates. 11. Unaccountable federal bureaucracies. 12. Toxic food supply. 13. Vaccine and pandemic disinformation. 14. The trans-contagion and sterilization of children. 15. Overprescription of pharmaceuticals. 16. Destruction of the nuclear family and parental rights. 17. DEI and the new racism. 18. Moral and societal decay. 19. The financing of endless foreign wars. 20. The sprawling surveillance state. 21. The centralization and consolidation of government power. 22. The destruction of trust in institutions. 23. The censorship industrial complex. 24. State media propaganda. 25. The smearing of those who challenge it.
We'll say this, he does have one hell of a team to get this done, folks. Never figured Trump would ever have this great of a team. I don't think if he would have won in 2020, he would have had near this kind of a lineup, this much support, or this many people willing to back him. And facts be known, I have a CNN clip for you here before we get through here today. Just a little bit of proof that Trump is the GOAT, greatest of all time. The Trump effect is working in real time, and we're going to get our country back, including fixing 99% of this crap that you just watched in this video that's wrong with our things that are wrong with our country. And it's going to be due to that great team I just showed you a picture of. They're going to help Trump take this out, take care of it, get it organized. Now, here's a few things I wanted to tell you that I thought were part of the Trump effect, including hostages being released as of today after Trump has threatened Hamas with basically total destruction. And so Israel and Trump and I guess Biden got involved and got the hostage negotiation started before Trump gets back in there, because if not, Trump said there would be hell to pay, and it's already started. So there's number one on my Trump effect list that I thought was so very important. Let me grab my goggles real quick. I had a couple things I wrote down that I thought were part of the Trump effect. Some of y'all might have missed, and there's hundreds more. But first off, Israel, United States broker a deal for peace in the Middle East. It didn't take long. Trump's not even back in yet. That happens tomorrow. I love it. I love it. Jack Smith is gone. Chris Wray is gone. Anthony Blinken is gone. Mayorkas is gone. All these people are retiring today. I don't know if that's the Trump effect or not, but it is definitely an impact of Trump coming in, and I'm just glad to see it. All these cases against Trump have either fell by the wayside or been dismissed, with the exception of the one where they decide they're going to throw a conviction at him, which probably will be overturned in the long run. The stock market is up. People have hope again. Eric Adams has even went as far as to end the debt credit card program for illegals. He did that about a week ago. So he's going to start working with Trump. And so did a lot of these other governors and mayors as well, including a city council in California, mayor of California, one of the southern cities, says we definitely want Tom Homan to show up here and help take care of this illegal immigration problem. Congress, as soon as they found out Trump won, said everybody needs to retain your evidence, and started sending letters out to everybody that was criminally acting against Trump and the J6 prisoners. There's so many people that have done criminal acts, and they've all been put on notice. I'm talking about these directors of the FBI, the CIA. The directors of most of these three-lettered agencies have done their best to lie to Congress, crap on the American people, and try to incarcerate Trump with its weaponization of government. And all this stuff is not just being put on notice to hold your evidence, but people will be prosecuted for destroying evidence, because some of this stuff is backed up already, and the deep state probably just doesn't realize it. Several more things here. It says Macdonald is done as a majority leader. He's out. That's glorious. I'm glad to see that. Chris Wray is out, like I said already. Several of the J6 trials have been postponed due to the fact that they're waiting to find out how soon the pardons start dropping when the Trump administration gets into gear. I believe on day one, with executive orders about the J6 prisoners, they did say they were going to go through them all case by case, but for the most part, 90% of these people will be let out immediately, is what we have to believe. Would have never happened if Kamala had won. Several people have been busted for election fraud lately. Would have never happened if the White House was still controlled by the Democrat Party after tomorrow. It says the border team, Homan, Stephen Miller, and Kristi Noem, will all three be in their positions to start deportation, start getting policies in place with executive orders, and starting to actually handle up on the border, closing the fence, kicking people out, and hunting people down. And I am ready. That's going to be glorious, folks. I'm ready to see somebody start a channel that actually shows the counter of every single person that's been deported out of the country. Whether it's names or not, at least give us the numbers. Rhinos are getting ousted, at least getting exposed for their primary ejection in 2026. And people like Elon Musk have stepped up. Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk, and Trump, and several others have stepped up and said, go ahead. Try to not confirm Trump fix. Go ahead. Work against us in the Senate with our majority. Work against us in the House with our slim majority. And you will be put on the shit list and the gotta go list. That's the Trump effect, folks. The new boss is in town, and I'm glad to see it. We now have people on his team that have got cojones as well. At least 6 people, talking hardcore leftists like Don Lemon, have literally left Twitter, and they said it's permanent. They can't stand Twitter anymore because Trump and Elon Musk like free speech, and that's just too much for them to handle at this point. Mexico, Canada, China, so many countries are already starting to, capitulate. The Panama Canal and Greenland are still up in the works as far as negotiations for putting bases up in Greenland, possibly taking over the country as their, as an American sovereign nation. I don't know exactly how that will go in the end, but I do believe that Trump has got works going in 5 different directions when it comes to international things, whether it be holding people accountable with tariffs and trades, with this external revenue service, keeping people like Xi Jinping in check with his by taxing him on imports, and so many other things that is coming down the way. Trump knows how to get these people in a bind financially if they don't cooperate with things like closing the border. And it seems like Mexico and Canada are on board right off the bat. Now we got to get Xi Jinping to stop sending the fentanyl precursor through Mexico, and we will come a long way, folks, in fixing our country in just those few short steps. 1 or 2 more here. Let's see. Oh, that's enough on here. But we'll go ahead and listen to some of what I was listening to this morning from it's a left-wing pundit. It's called Full Measure. I believe it's an ABC pundit. But this is they were calling it Trump's impact. But I would say this is a little bit of the same, the Trump effect. They got a pretty good list.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
Even before Donald Trump's inauguration as 47th president, America and the world are witnessing a whirlwind of preterm actions and the Trump effect in Congress.
If you read the bill carefully,
on the border,
don't mess with Trump and don't mess with Texas.
and beyond our borders. This week, the impact of a second Trump term, even before it's begun.
Why was there no water in the hydrants?
The ongoing tragedy of the California wildfires has been years in the making, driven by policy.
Everything we do, it's with an equity lens.
And by ignoring hard lessons learned in other parts of the country.
Whenever you burn on a regular basis, it reduces the chance of there being a catastrophic wildfire.
This week, we look at the Los Angeles fires and a decade of other California fire disasters that predicted the current crisis.
This is a great day for women in America.
A vote to ban males from competing on female sports teams.
Yeah.
I would say that they just want fairness in our sport and we just want change to happen.
Prospect of a peaceful solution and release of Israel and U.S. hostages came after a threat from the incoming commander-in-chief.
If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Though not even in office, Trump's representatives were said to be working on the deal along with President Biden's. The incoming president campaigned on ending wars. The Mideast conflict may be just the first.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
Another campaign promise to end the war between Russia and Ukraine that already cost $175 billion U.S. tax dollars prior to the election. In the 2 short months following his election, Donald Trump has floated the idea of annexing Canada.
Looks like the runway Santa Claus would land at.
buying Greenland. His son flew there for a look.
Awesome day, boys and girls. We'll see you in Florida in a couple of hours.
Trump has also threatened to seize the Panama Canal, all for national security and economic reasons. And he suggested rebranding the world map.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
President-elect Donald Trump is already having a major impact.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
Arguably more in his pre-presidency period than any other commander-in-chief.
Let's go.
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, Trump's point men on government waste, are already stirring up commotion on Capitol Hill. They effectively killed a 1,500-page boondoggle in Congress last month.
If you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it.
Within hours, the controversial bill was dead. Trump's election is credited or blamed for the ousting of a world leader, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. In November, Trump met with Trudeau, making clear that he expects that country to stop flooding the U.S. with illegal immigrants and drugs. 2.5 weeks later, Canada announced plans to strengthen border security and its immigration system. Some in Trudeau's own party argued that he needed to take a tougher stance against Trump. The internal rift helped push Trudeau to announce his resignation earlier this month.
And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
Also on illegal immigration, 2 days after Trump's November victory, news reports said that a huge caravan of would-be illegal immigrants heading to the U.S. through Mexico began to dissolve. And when Trump caught wind that the Biden administration was moving quickly to auction off border wall materials, Texas put that to a halt.
We think they were trying to sneak 8,000 panels or more under the nose of the American public, under the nose of the states, because they didn't notify us of the auction. They hid the photos, but President Trump caught them. Don't mess with Trump and don't mess with Texas.
On diplomacy, last month Trump was treated like the sitting president when visiting Notre Dame Cathedral in France. On big tech, executives who once banned and panned Trump and some of his followers are now pledging million-dollar donations to Trump's inauguration party.
I bet this left-wing station that's doing a really good report of accurate reporting of a lot of the things that are going on play-by-play since the Trump effect has started, since people have found out on November 5th that Trump was the clear and present winner. I'm just glad to see it. I bet they're hating to have to report this stuff because this is not what mainstream media wants to report.
Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, and Sam Altman of OpenAI. Trump has also met privately with honchos from TikTok, Google, and Apple. On the media, ABC News Disney announced a humiliating settlement.
The network agrees to pay $15 million.
The conglomerate issued an apology to Trump and agreed to pay $15 million plus legal fees to settle a defamation suit. It was related to newsman George Stephanopoulos falsely claiming that a jury had found Trump liable for rape.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
Jurors had actually rejected the rape claim against Trump. On the economy,
SoftBank will be investing $100 billion in America, creating 100,000 American jobs at a minimum.
A Japanese company announced a $100 billion investment in the U.S.
I would really like to celebrate the great victory of President Trump.
And then a $20 billion investment by a United Arab Emirates company for data centers in the U.S.
But it's an honor to have such a great investor investing in our country.
Meantime, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin surged to record levels, from about $67,000 the day before the election to past $107,000 per coin.
crypto markets surging after Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election.
On December 12th, Time announced Trump was its Person of the Year. The same day, he was at the New York Stock Exchange to ring the opening bell, signaling that he and his influence are already center stage and being seen and felt well in advance of ringing in a new administration. Another big change just days before Trump resumes office, the FDA finally banned red dye number 3. As we recently reported here on Full Measure, the artificial dye was already...
Are you tired of winning yet, folks? We have not even got him in the office yet, and we have got so many things changing, going in a different direction. People coming around our way of thinking. I'm glad to see it. Trump is the great negotiator. He knows the art of the deal, how to get people to play ball or suffer for not being America first. And I'm just so glad to see that he has got a team of people that are like-minded, like himself, that want to close the border, that want to deport illegals, that want to fix our economy, that want safe streets, all the things that you would want from a prosperous nation. We're going to have them back, and I'm so ready. And she goes on for another 14 minutes of Trump accolades, and I don't think she liked it too much, but I'm just glad to see that we're getting equally measured reporting from mainstream media about all the things that have happened in just the last couple of weeks. No matter how you spin it, it's good. And here's a couple things that have happened that I know for a fact. There was a Minnesota judge that was caught handling shenanigans with the what would you call it, the with the papers in the election up there in Minnesota, and she got in trouble in such a way that she's being indicted for fraud. And here we find another Orange County Democrat indicted on multiple election fraud charges as well, faces up to 6 years in prison. They're actually talking about time for this one. So that is 2 cases of actual workers or politicians involved in the election process that are Democrats that are actually probably going to catch some real time behind election shenanigans. That would have never happened if Trump didn't win, folks. These judges would still be scared of peeing down their leg looking the other way like they did 4 years ago. So I'm glad to see that we now have people stopping stolen elections like they did with Twitter, Elon Musk, Scott Presler, and the RNC during the election. They stopped it in Pennsylvania and several places just by people being active, paying attention, and blasting it out there anytime shenanigans happen. Matter of fact, California has been caught cheating, recounting ballots, and we know 6 seats over there, House seats over there, are a little screwy since it took a month for them to decide that Democrats won every seat. That probably needs to be looked into. Hopefully it will through Pam Bondi, who was one of Trump's attorneys on fighting against election fraud in Pennsylvania back in the day. So hopefully she'll start looking into things like Arizona and California, where you know what goes on over there. All right, folks, we got a couple more things I want to bring to y'all today. We'll try to cut this down short. We'll be doing a video later today, like I said, with Matt and Romeo and Lisa and maybe William Archibald, Dave and Callie, and several of us. Now, I'm not a big fan of CNN. It's mainstream media propaganda. But they got a guy over there named Scott Jennings, and he seems to be the only conservative on the show. He takes a lot of flack, but more than that, he gives them a lot of flack. And I love to see it because he tells it like it is. Here we go. And this is absolutely the truth.
Donald Trump right now is at the apex of his power. He's more popular than ever. His ideology is more popular than ever. And I think it's in large part because people were comparing the results of Biden and Trump won and saying, we're going back to Trump, and this was a lot better than what we got under Joe Biden. So I think a lot of his legacy, frankly, is going to be bookended by the fact that he and Obama gave us Trump the first time, and then he gave us Trump 2.0, stronger than ever. Joe Biden made some promises that he was going to be an honest president. He wasn't. That he was going to be a moderate president. He wasn't. And that he was going to try to restore the soul of the nation. I don't think anybody believes that he did that. And on the way out the door, oh, by the way, he's pardoning his son retroactively for anything and everything going back a number of years. That did not sit well with the American people. So when you consider the inflation, Afghanistan, border, the pardons, and really Joe Biden not living up to what he said he was going to be, I think it's going to be hard for him to make a comeback in the near term.
This is the point here. The way Biden went out, the way he's crapping on his country on the way out the door, including pardoning his son, and just the obvious exposure of just how crappy the Democrat Party has been to the American people is on full display. And I believe the American people, Republicans and Democrats and independents, will not be voting for Democrats in the future. I believe the Democrats are going to take a serious ass whooping in 2026. We're going to get rid of some of our rhinos, and the Democrats are going to lose some of their seats to Republicans and independents just because they don't have the numbers, and they won't have the numbers because they will not have the people showing up to support them because they've got nobody to put up there that is worth a shit at this point. The Democrats are on a downward trajectory, on a death spiral, as they call it. And they're not in any trajectory to fix it. They're just literally going down the drain with their anger, with their salty tears, with their blame game, and they still have no plan to have better policies and actually reach out to their constituents and try to win them back. Instead, they're still at the denial and blame game phase. So it is what it is. Let's let them do it for the next 2, 4, 6 years, 8 years. Let's let them continue to be the Democrats that they are, because at this point, Democratic policies are not popular. So y'all keep on keeping on, and we will keep on keeping y'all out of power every election. We're going to do it from now on, folks. We've got the ground game down. We've got the surge, the swell. We've got the people now willing to get up and vote, hopefully every 2 years. And I do want to encourage that every 2 years, not every 4.
Proud, actually, of the work Joe Biden did for our country.
I gotta say, I'm on my way to a ball. I think Paul's already been out to one already. I'd like to get into whatever he's drinking in the description. Get into whatever. I think Paul's already been. I think. I gotta say, I'm on my way to a ball. Hard for him is going to be. I think it's going to be hard for him to make a comeback in the near term.
So yeah, I'm really proud, actually, of the work Joe Biden did for our country.
I gotta say, I'm on my way to a ball. I think Paul's already been out to one already. I'd like to get into whatever he's drinking in the description of the Joe Biden
some of that good Kentucky bourbon you gave
if everything you said was true, he should have had no trouble getting reelected, and he should not have a 34% approval rating. The truth is, on so many issues, he failed. And not only did he fail, but he and his people were dishonest with the American people about it, telling us the border is secure when it's not, telling us that the Afghanistan pullout was a wonderful accomplishment, and most damagingly last year, telling us that he was fit for office when clearly he was not. And the biggest cover-up in modern political history took place on his watch, and I guess at the direction of him and his top people. That is going to live with him for a very, very long time. Even Democrats now admit that Joe Biden was not with it, and they all went along with it too, and they have no one to blame but themselves. I do agree with what Paul said earlier. He should never have run for re-election, but the fact that he's now saying he could have won is delusional, and the fact that he's saying Kamala Harris could have won is basically saying she ran a crap campaign. So he's left his own party in somewhat political chaos.
I'm glad to see it. I am glad that they are gnashing of the teeth and wallowing in their own squalor at this point, because I think the Democratic Party is done for a whole minute. This is not just one election they're going to lose. They have lost the majority of the people that they have bullshitted along the way. I'm sorry, them. Sorry, I didn't give you any intro to that, folks. This is a new Tom Macdonald song that just come out. This is friggin' hilarious. He's spoofing Eminem. I don't know if you're a fan of Eminem or not. I was 20 or 30 years ago. But this is Tom Macdonald spoofing Eminem and the Democrat Party all in one. I just figured I'd bring y'all this. Very comical. Nothing but good stuff. Something to break it up a little bit. Let me pull him over into screen. If you don't know Tom Macdonald yet, go check him out. This was golden. I think this just dropped yesterday. All right, here we go.
I never meant to hurt you. I'm sorry, they, them. I never meant to hurt you. Put your pride flags high coming out the closet.
One more time.
This looks like a job for me. I don't care about the economy. I'm a billionaire, so if you're me, it don't matter who wins the presidency. I'm not afraid. I'm holding hands with illegal aliens and a pregnant man. We're losing. We're stupid.
Yo, Kamala, Tim, come up here for this one. Two idiots going around me outside, round me outside, round me outside. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, that was the best. I love it. I love it. And if you don't listen to Eminem, maybe you didn't catch all that, but them are several Eminem lyrics just train wrecked into some Joe Biden lyrics. I love it. I love it. All right, folks, we'll get back into some other stuff real quick before I jump out of here. We're about done. Bear with me. Yeah, I thought that was golden.
That's all, folks.
And I'm definitely keeping that, folks. Hopefully everybody had a great day. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their weekend off and not having to work today, not work too hard. Hopefully chilling out around the house, staying warm. But there's a lot going on in the news. But more than that, the next couple of days is going to be off the chain. Everybody keep their head on a swivel, stay safe. Try not to be at any of these rallies or events because you never know what's going to happen at this point. Not to be a fear monger, folks, but there's been so many reports coming out that we probably haven't heard involving the fear factor, the threat factor around Trump and his entire team being all in one location. That's a scary thought for me as well. But we're going to keep our heads up high. We're going to have hope in our hearts. We're going to pray and keep the faith. And here in 24 hours, folks, we'll be in a whole new situation with the Trump impact, with the Trump effect. Like, subscribe, and share. Vote Patriots. Everybody.